Hey everybody, welcome to Who Gives a Shit, the podcast that asks the most important question. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
Right. So we can if you want to, man.
Yeah.
So we got another guest. We got Jon Breaks Bad news with us. How's it going, John?
How's it going, boys?
Oh, it's going well, man. So you called into the show a while ago.
Yeah, like one of the first episodes when you guys were talking about separating the art from the artist is what I thought about.
Man,
yeah, I talked about Woody Allen.
Yeah,
man. Woody Allen is the shit. Go watch his movies if you haven't already. And maybe you'll feel inspired to marry your stepdaughter. Who knows? But yeah, I'm excited to have you on, John.
I'm excited to be here.
So you are uniquely qualified to review something that happened. So CJ got a friend of the show, Rabbit, to call out and get a hold of CJ's ex-boyfriend and impersonate him and break up with them over the phone.
Okay. All right.
It's so good.
And so would you consider yourself an expert in the crank call, good sir?
Yeah, I mean, that's where I kind of gained my, I'd never thought of them as prank calls, but everybody has said these are the best prank calls that they've heard. Some people said
even if they're not prank calls, prank call adjacent, it's in that vein.
They're definitely in the vein of like calling people and telling them things and messing with them. Yeah, so it's a crank call. It's essentially a crank call show.
So also for those that don't know who you are, what is it that you do exactly?
So I got it in my head a couple of years ago that I would set up like a fake business. It's not, I never like did anything as far as like charging people money. I just thought it would be funny to have people send me emails with like the contact information of their friends or family members about stuff that they needed to tell them, but didn't really want to tell them themselves. So like any kind of bad news, like if you slept with your best friend's wife or you ran over their dog and you didn't want to be the one to actually tell them that, you send me a message with their contact information, the message that you want me to send. I call them and I tell them, and I'm bad at it. That's kind of the whole gimmick of it, is that I'm just kind of an asshole and an idiot. I call them and I tell them I get the information wrong.
Killed me before when you called Cantillions and told him that his dick to ball ratio was trash. That shit fucking killed me. I was dying laughing. And then you call fuckface Matt and just randomly started talking shit to this guy.
Yeah, you said. I think my favorite thing.
Usually it ends with me like challenging the.
My favorite thing you said to Matt was he can never play monkey in the middle because he's too short. You're fucking funny, dude. You got very funny calls, which is why I originally contacted you to do the breakup with the boyfriend thing, but you were having trouble because he wasn't answering the phone. And
I called them like 3 times. He didn't answer.
And Rabbit managed to get through. So here, let me play you this fucking call. And I'll pause it as necessary. So if you just start talking, I'll pause it. All right.
All right.
Oh God. Hello. Hey, I've been trying to get a hold of you. What's up?
Already, this isn't Cripple Jesus, and the fact that it's not Cripple Jesus, this Rabbit's fucking impression of CJ is so spot on. For a second I was like, wait a minute, What's going on here? I thought this was supposed to be rabbit calling, and then I realized
rabbit straight up fool people. People that know CJ. I've seen rabbit fool people before.
He said it to me one other time.
Here's what kills me is that Rabbit has emulated this guy's laugh really closely. And that's kind of hard to do, and that can throw me for a loop. Like, I've gotten fooled by it a couple of times. And hold on, just listen to this fucking shit, John.
I didn't really know how to say this, but I feel like an asshole. I think you're a cool guy. Like, you're funny as shit, man. But I'm not gay. So I don't think that this is gonna work out.
Okay.
The fact that he's so good at impersonating CJ is so like, I would love to hear Rabbit do more of that, where he just does CJ, but he crank calls people, and then CJ also do the crank calls alongside him, and it's like twin guys. I don't know. I feel like there's a bit there that could work, where the two of them are just like showing up at the same place with the same voice.
So can you hear CJ laughing in the background?
A little bit, yeah.
Gosh. So he's finding this infinitely funny, and he has effectively offloaded breaking up with his gay boyfriend on Rabbit.
Well, what's so funny about this is this was just on a random Saturday. We decided to do it. And it made my morning. It was so funny. Like, it was the funniest thing all day. And I couldn't get that call out of my head because it was fucking perfect.
No, it's really fun. It's very funny. I wish I could hear the guy's reaction.
Oh, so it's a little light, but hopefully it'll come through over. I'll be able to get it to work as good as we can. So let me continue playing this thing.
Okay.
I forget as much.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry.
That's alright, I guess.
That's all right, I guess.
You're a cool guy, and I don't want you to think it's something that you did, because it's just I'm not a fan.
That's the best part. That's the best part right there. I'm not a fan.
And fucking CJ's dying laughing right there.
Oh, man. It was so good.
So up until that point, though, that was actually a fairly nice way to try to break up with someone for something that actually is inside of something as disingenuous as a fucking prank phone call.
Yeah. But I think that's what, like, CJ, you wanted to break up with the guy, right?
Yeah,
Number
that was
one.
the goal.
Yeah, I had kind of stepped away from the internet for 2 weeks. I come back and CJ is gay and then not gay anymore. And that was that was pretty wild for me as as somebody who just views this content most of the time. I was like, wait, what the fuck happened? Why is CJ formerly gay converted? I didn't understand. Was it a bit?
No, it was actually it was a real thing, but then I had gay sex and I was like, oh, this is gross. I'm obviously not gay. And also, when we were in this said relationship, I had cheated on him with a female hooker anyway, allegedly. I obviously don't pay for sex. That's illegal. But, I'm not, I hated anal. It was fucking gross. And I literally threw up afterwards because the experience was so disgusting to me. So I 100% know I'm not gay.
Oh, no.
So how... you know what? I'll ask you that privately. I'm sure it's been talked about on the show before. So.
What if there was like a really good looking trap? Would you consider that?
No, man, because to be honest with you, the fucking feeling of a butthole is just like it's still creepy to me right now, even talking about it. Like I don't think.
Yeah, I guess I kind of agree with that with the butthole thing. Anal isn't my go-to.
Yeah, I mean, I never liked it with chicks.
I don't think it's anybody's.
Yeah,
go-to.
I never liked it with chicks either. You know, because there had been a couple strippers.
Yeah,
where they're like, "Oh, put it in my ass; it'll be fun," and it's like, "Bitch, what? What did it? Excuse you? I know I didn't have that much Grey Goose to where you just said that. What did you say? I'm not putting it in your ass." So,
what's that old line? I would never fuck something in the ass that I respected, and that's part of the reason why I'm not.
Well,
somebody.
Well, then with that,
I think the moral of the story.
I was wondering how that works with the strippers.
Yeah,
you don't respect the stripper, so you fuck them in the ass.
Oh, okay.
I think the moral of the story here: don't stick your pee-pee where the poo-poo comes out.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh man. So hold on. We still got more. Oh wait, we still got more of this fucking crank phone call, don't we? Jesus. Yeah. That's pretty crazy. Hold on one second. Let me crank that thing up again.
You just want to be friends?
Oh, fuck! Yeah, sure, man.
Is that his reaction? It's just like, okay.
Oh, man. But anyway, I'll talk to you later.
Oh, dude, you fucking nailed it. That was.
There we go. And that was other people listening to this going on.
Yeah, we had about other people in the chat, I think, when this was going on.
Yeah, that was very good. That was very funny. I think honestly that was. I think Rabbit should do more prank calls as CJ.
Oh my god! I know he'd be good at it. Oh. I don't know. I don't want to encourage the guy too much. Like,
well, hey, look at that, buddy.
All
you
right.
are a Jon Breaks Bad News approved. Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah. No shit. So you want to get into the show, John?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So what did you bring in to talk about today? Like, who gives a shit about dumb shit around? In your perspective.
So I woke up Monday. Was it Monday or Tuesday? I woke up Tuesday and there was like every app that I opened as far as like news goes had this one story about these girls in Florida, high school girls. They had all had it was like 80 of them had their high school yearbook pictures altered.
Yeah.
To be less more modest, I guess, is the way that they put it in the article. And it was like these girls, like if you looked at the before and after pictures, it was like not like, at least for somebody like me, I grew up in New York. I didn't see anything wrong with the original pictures. It was like they were wearing tank tops or they were wearing
not even, dude. They were like editing shit so that it covered like almost like where their fucking clavicle is to cut off like all cleavage. I'm like, what the? It was a bit ridiculous, but also they didn't look just fucking awful either. I don't know, man. This one's kind of a toss up for me.
There was one where the girls, she was wearing a flannel and it was down unbuttoned, and they had photoshopped the flannel to like go over her tits, and I thought that was really funny. But the reason why I'm bringing this in is not really because I don't agree with what the school did, but I also I would love to never, ever, ever in my entire life have to be in the situation of a parent going up to the school and demanding that their young daughter's tits were put back in the yearbook. Because that's what they did. They had all these parents were up in arms that the school had edited their photos, and now they have to be on the side of the argument where they want their daughter's tits put back in the yearbook, which I think is a difficult thing to argue.
Yeah, give me the Schneider cut of the yearbook.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you think about this, CJ?
Well, as a yearbook buyer, I bought the yearbook one time my senior year. I bought it with the intention that I was gonna, look back at it later and probably jack off to the hot chicks in my
and glue the pages together.
Yeah. I know I'm not the only one. Like, oh goddamn,
no, you're not.
Sydney was fucking hot, man. Let me just whack one out real quick and get back to work. I think that's what yearbooks were invented for, to be honest. But
yeah, I think that would be a better place to come from, is like being a young boy about to graduate who bought the yearbook and then going up to the school and slamming it down in front of whoever you gave your money to and going, I want a refund. How am I supposed to jerk off to this?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Like I had fond memories of these tits, and I know these tits are supposed to be in this book, and you took them out.
You took this from me.
That is false advertising. That is not what I agreed to. I saw what these chicks were wearing that photograph day, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to buy this yearbook.
Yeah. That's exactly. I feel like that's an easier position to argue from than I'm the father of a 17-year-old girl whose tits were taken out of the yearbook, and I'm not happy about it.
Stop tit shaming my daughter.
Yeah.
It is pretty stupid all around, and it is a ridiculous stance to kind of have to take, but it's also a dumb thing to do.
Right.
I would feel weird too. Like, I don't know. Imagine if, like, all of a sudden everyone got in a tizzy about showing belly buttons or something like that, and so they just photoshopped everyone's belly button out of the swim team or something like that. It would just be fucking weird.
That was the other thing that they talked about in the article, was that the men's swim team, they were all in Speedos. No, they didn't turn them into diving suits or anything like that. It was like, oh, you did this to the girls, but you didn't do anything to the guys, which also... Yeah, men aren't sexualized like that. It's just
if anything, they should enhance the dongage.
Yeah,
like make the bulges huge, so that everyone will look back and be like, "Oh, the good old days when the girls had no tits and the guys had huge dongs,
huge cocks."
Everyone on all the sports teams had massive bulges. Do you remember the good old days?
You can't even keep it inside of an athletic cup.
That's what I'm going to do to my yearbook. I'm going to scan pictures of me in my yearbook. I didn't have any like action photos in my yearbook because I was always outside smoking weed during all the school where the yearbook club would come and take pictures. I never went to any of those events. But I would like to just in my regular yearbook photo, just Photoshop a giant cock coming out of my lap into the frame of where like the above shoulders shot of my face in the yearbook. Me holding it like I caught a fish.
So in this article, who even was the one that found this shit out, and who did this in the first place? Did you I didn't read the article, but I knew what you were going to be talking about.
So the girls saw it, the girls who had their pictures taken saw it. They brought it to their parents, and then their parents went to the high school to complain. And there was one woman who was in charge of making sure that the pictures that went into the yearbook were modest enough. And she went fucking buck wild and edited like 80 pictures and just like made sure that all these pictures were photoshopped so they didn't show any kind of like they made girls' shorts longer in action in like the
fuck?
Yeah, in like club photos and stuff like that. It was pretty wild. And I don't know, if I were one of the parents, I don't know how I would have felt about it, because It's like, are you saying that I dress my kid slutty and send them to school? Like, that would be my that's how I would argue it, but I don't think any parents are like smart enough to really take that angle. Like, because you go down there, I can only imagine how that conversation goes. Why aren't my daughter's tits in the yearbook? And then like they go, what, you want your daughter's tits in the yearbook? And then you have to kind of shut up, right?
So this was one person that oversaw these pictures?
Yeah. It was.
Was this a dude or a chick?
It was a woman.
Oh, fucking hoes hating.
Yeah, that was also my guess.
That's what I got out of it.
My guess is that this bitch is like fat and out of her prime, and she's jealous of all the hot ass in the yearbook. So she edited the photos, took out all the goods, made these bitches more plumpy, put flannel on them, all that shit, so she could feel better about herself.
Yeah.
Like, these are some unrealistic beauty standards. Let's edit this shit out.
Yeah, I honestly think it was more like she was a puritanical Christian woman and like had a religious bent against the girls showing any kind of flesh.
Coming up from Texas, man, I've had to deal with a lot of people that were like that are like real religious, but it also makes them fucking weird prudes.
Yeah,
where like anything sexual at all, they start acting fucking weird. And I guess there was a good amount of them that were like involved in school stuff. I don't know. It's been a little while.
Yeah, honestly, being from New York, there was only one school teacher that really had like a very religious bent about them, and it was one of the gym teachers, and that was they held a Bible club. They were like the leader of the Bible club in my school, and that was always fun to mess with all those kids because they're weird.
I guess at this school it's the Bible club / yearbook meeting, and they're trying to see who they can censor like that day and ring the bell of shame at them. They just find a picture to replace every week in the yearbook, and then that week they have like the horror of shame. This is getting edited in the yearbook because you were a filthy hooer.
I would have done the same thing, only to cause the arguments, not because of any religious thing, just because I want to see parents up in arms and arguing to have their daughter's tits put back in the yearbook.
I wonder if the school had like a horror of the week award. Think about.
They get one of they get a trophy every week made up.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, they know who got their photos edited. So someone went through and goes, hey, do you know who is the biggest hooer? It was fucking Janet. She got 5 of her pictures edited out. Like, what an attention, literal whore. Oh my God.
I'll tell you what, if we had a horror of the week ceremony at my school, that would be an assembly that I would actually show up to the gym for. So maybe they should do that.
If one girl is the returning champion, she's held it for 36 weeks running.
We all know who it is, too. It's that one cheerleader that had sex with every black guy on the football team. Just to spite her dad.
So, you want to move on to the next topic we got for the week?
You got it, man.
All right. So, let's play our favorite game where y'all guess the outlet that published this story. Here's the headline. Twitch, in response to action against hot tub streamers, promises not to discriminate against very sexy people. So what news outlet do you think said that?
Was it Polygon?
Yeah, I'm going to guess like IGN.
No. Business Insider.
Whoa! Business Insider. Why?
Yeah. Okay, so this is not an insignificant amount of money they're talking about. So what this is about is this chick Amaranth getting her ads pulled from her Twitch channel.
I know a little bit about this. but I honestly haven't been following the story that closely. She's just like in a hot tub, right? And
yeah, so there was the hot tub meta. And what that is there's always chicks on Twitch that are trying to push the boundary of what you can get away with as far as being a hooer is on Twitch. And they were banned from wearing any type of risque clothing unless it was like appropriate attire for the activity at hand. And being in a hot tub was good enough to wear a bikini.
But then you also have to figure out a reason to stream from a hot tub.
No, just get in a hot tub. You're in a hot tub because you're in a hot tub.
I understand that. What I'm saying is if I'm Twitch and I'm like, okay, I have 12-year-olds on this site and my advertisers want the 12-year-olds to see these advertisements, why are they in the hot tub every stream now? So they can wear, it's because they want to wear bikinis, right?
Well, there were people on Twitch. They were concerned about this. They've been talking about it for a little while. They're like, this is the next thing, because it really wasn't that big a deal. And then a lot of chicks started doing it. And some of these people that are doing it have really big followings and make a lot of money. Like this Amaranth chick. Okay, she's pretty hot. She looks good.
Yeah.
But God, I find chicks like this absolutely insufferable. There's so much about this story that I just don't like in general. One, I don't like the simps that follow this type of content and give money to it. Two, I don't like the chicks that are involved with this type of stuff because they want to act innocent when they know they're fucking lying about the nature of this type of relationship.
Yeah.
There's enough lying going on in this thing where people are like lying to themselves even quite a bit about what this even is. Because really at the end of the day, it's like renting a counterfeit girlfriend. That's what these people are doing.
I'll tell you why I've always liked strippers more than this bullshit. And it's because the stripper is honest with you. So you don't go into a strip club and think, oh, this is my girlfriend, I'm in love. No, you get drunk, you put a couple dollar bills in between her tits, and you're like, hey, bitch, wanna fuck? There's no weird emotional attachment or, she loves me. Like, there's none of that bullshit involved.
Yeah.
Well, same thing for prostitutes as well. So that's kind of like an honest exchange. Like, I get that. The Twitch thought there's something that's just disingenuous about the whole thing, because the simp phenomenon has been something that's been wild to see.
Can I ask you something though?
Oh yeah. What's up, man?
So look, I've never been somebody who consumed that kind of content. So I have no way to relate to like a guy who would be considered a simp. But like, is there that much of like, is it really that different than being a stripper or a prostitute, or even like what we're doing currently? Like, are these chicks like, I wouldn't know. Are they doing things during their streams, or are they just sitting there with their tits on, and it's just like a live painting of a girl with tits?
Some of them will just be talking. You can like tip a certain amount of money, and she'll like write her like the name on her body. Like, there's a lot of weird shit that goes on with this stuff, and it just reeks of desperation all around, where the chick is getting some sort of validation because she can't get it anywhere else, and dudes that have like no game with the girl can just throw a little bit of money to some chick on Twitch's way and get a little bit of recognition, just the tiniest little nugget, you know.
Notice me, senpai. Notice me.
Yeah.
I think I can I can explain it to John how this is different from a prostitute, okay? A prostitute is like you're paying the prostitute to get all your primal ape urges out. You're not like, oh, this is my lover. You know, I don't love this woman. I just need to stick my dick in a hole and come. Like, there's no, like, we're not gonna go get coffee afterwards and hold hands and gaze into each other's eyes. Like, that's not what this is. And the Twitch thing is weird to me and Adam because they want like Adam said, they want a counterfeit girlfriend out of this deal.
Yeah, so I think I agree with you on the prostitute thing a lot because that's like like you pay for an hour, you get an hour of that woman's time, you do whatever you want, well, within the rules, I guess, and then you leave and like she doesn't even know your name.
Y'all ever had to deal with chicks that are teases?
Never.
No, I mean like. Maybe a little bit, but I never really like. That's never been something that I entertained really that much.
I've known chicks that thought it was fun to lead guys on, and there was something about it I never liked. Like, I don't know, it's hard to put into words exactly, but I don't know. There's like leading on that's going with this thing, and people simping over these chicks is very apparent. That's really funny to see because you can kind of tell when people's personal biases kick into gear. You can feel the white knight effect where you're like, oh man, no, they're trying to take this fucking stance because they're like no, not you can't get mad at my lady.
I'm just happy to see people making money. Is really, I guess, my only defense of this is that number one, I don't know what the content even is. Like you're telling me that they're writing like that sounds a little predatory, especially if you're dealing with like younger dudes who aren't, especially over the last year, haven't had the chance to go out and interact with women.
Even if everyone was of age, I would still kind of have an issue with this because this is supposed to be like a gaming channel thing. Right. Now, if this was understood that this is like some cam whore or something like that,
like a chatterbait website,
that's about where I'm like, all right, this is starting to become an honest exchange here, where I have less of a problem.
It's just strippers working from home.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. They're basically playing that, like, yeah, they're like non-alcoholic strippers, and they're trying to, get their ad revenue in areas that are a little more family friendly, and people were worried this was going to blow up in their face, and Twitch finally took action and freaking yanked all the ad revenue from this bitch, and didn't stop playing ads on her shit either.
Good.
By the way,
all right,
can I do a rant for a second that relates to this? So I want to give a giant fuck you to OnlyFans, okay? Because now, because of the pandemic, a lot of the whores that I were frequenting, they resorted to OnlyFans to make up for their strip club income. And some of my favorite bitches now were just like, you know what? I'm doing so well on OnlyFans that I can just jerk off in my house and make 3 times the money that I was being a stripper. And now I can't get that stripper pussy because of OnlyFans. So I just want to say fuck you to OnlyFans because some of those girls will be dearly missed. Thank God most of them were ugly white bitches. And the white strippers in Detroit, I don't know if you know, but they all have like meth head physique. So I'm not really into those kind of bitches anyway. But there were a couple that I would hit from time to time. And now that's just going to be a close memory in my head now. I can no longer hit them now because they resorted to full-time OnlyFans. So fuck off, OnlyFans, for that.
You just need to start your OnlyFans and just fuck strippers on it, but record it and put it on your OnlyFans.
I mean, I've been wearing diapers.
Yeah, don't even.
Well, I've been wearing diapers because of the surgery, and there's some weird motherfuckers that would pay for that, I'm sure.
A lot of money for that too.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. There's got to be a real high, like big baller niche out there for you, where you got the diaper handicap. Jesus Christ!
You'd be a millionaire by the end of the year, CJ.
You be making content that's in a very narrow thing. There's not very much supply of it out there, so you can demand top dollar for. Jesus. So, oh my God. So this Amaranth chick getting kicked off or getting her ads yanked out of this.
We're all going to hell for this podcast.
Probably, yeah. So this Amaranth chick, who do you think really cares that she got her ads yanked, man? Because there is the incel community that's like super happy. They're like, fuck this bitch.
I think
guys who are 10 years younger than me but look exactly like me. That's who gives a shit about this. Fat 20-year-old men who look like they're about to die from some sort of cirrhosis of their liver because they haven't seen sunlight since they were 3 years old. That's who cares. That's who gives a shit.
I think you're right on the nose with that one,
I think
buddy.
you're about right. All right. Well, let's get out of talking about Twitch and get into our favorite segment, which is To Catch a Redditor. So let's do one about the yearbooks getting edited first.
From r/NotTheOnion, Gomez the Killer writes, Florida, America's withered penis. Ron Don John writes, they should all wear burqas next year.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, they should. Who are you like who's getting mad now? I don't it's just wild.
Yeah, just fuck up the yearbook by wearing burqas. Act like you're a Mortal Kombat character. And
make sure they wear all the same color burqas. So it's like when the guy gets the photos and he has to put them all like arrange the yearbook, nobody knows whose photo is which.
So we got another one about that fucking Florida high school yearbook. Right, here we go.
From r/Technology, Frosty Mugson writes, what kind of pedophile came up with this? Whoa, this girl's rack is just too much. Brave Bellows writes, if the school receives public funds, isn't this censorship by the government?
Oh, is the government censoring the
That's
tits?
the biggest.
Everybody's
Dude,
a pedophile. That's
the biggest issue of all time. The government is censoring tits. We need to stop this immediately, like right now.
It gives you a claim, right? Because that's what the Bill of Rights are supposed to do, right? It's supposed to protect you from the government. And you know, I would say that tits are expressive. They got a way of making themselves known for sure.
But is this the government, or is this just some frumpy old lady who didn't want tits in her yearbook? Like
she would be. I don't know if this is a Catholic high school or something like that, but if this is a normal high school,
let me look it up. I don't think it is. I think it's yeah. I get what you're saying, and I look. I'm all about free the titty, but I have a grandma, and I understand if she was in charge of a yearbook.
Grandma's tits should look great in the yearbook too.
But I understand if she were in charge of a yearbook, she just wouldn't. That wouldn't be what she was. She would definitely knock the tits out of the yearbook.
Grandma knocking tits up. Okay.
Yeah, it was Bartram Trail High School. Yeah, so I think it's a public school.
Oh, that is this the government?
Yeah, it is. It's a constitutional.
All right, so we got one more To Catch a Redditor.
Constitutional violation. I mean, it said right in the Constitution.
I got rights.
That you should have the right to. It says you should have the right to pursue happy tits. It says it right in there. So I'm very offended.
I just once you get into constitutional arguments as to why 17-year-old girls' tits should be in the yearbook, I start thinking this.
It's not that they should be in the yearbook; it's that they had no right. They had no right to take it out. Yeah, they jumped the gun.
It's so funny to me. like the outrage, the initial act is hilarious to me. Then the outrage about it, and then like the discourse of like, well, that lady had to be a pedophile if she thought those 17-year-old girls' tits were too big.
God. Yeah, I think you're right. Who does fucking get fucking shit? Jesus. All right, so here's the last to catch Redditor. This one's about what CJ is going to be talking about, which is Seth Rogen.
From r/entertainment, Vaxiphony Underdev writes, groveling will not save him when some keyboard activist who needs some narcissistic supply starts dredging his own past for things to demand he be ostracized over. Courageous Little responds, big words. Not sure you know what you're trying to say, but good try, champ.
So that is what CJ is going to be talking about next, and that's Seth Rogen. So let's jump out of To Catch a Redditor. So what is this Seth Rogen thing about? CJ?
Well, I'm not going to do Guess an Outlet because you guys are just not going to get this one, and nobody knows what this publication is. But it's an interview from IndieWire.
All right.
And Seth Rogen in it basically says, you should expect to get canceled because in this modern times, jokes don't age well. Now, he also goes on to talk about what is and isn't funny. And as we all know, professor of comedy, Seth Rogen, is the authority of what all is funny and what's not funny. Because if the punchline of every joke you make is, whoa, weed, man, you know you're just a comedic genius. This is just a really dumb take. And I think
I like Pineapple Express.
I like it too because of Danny McBride. It has nothing to do with Seth Rogen. I also like Danny McBride and the funny people that Seth Rogen surrounds himself with. But that's the problem here and I think Seth knows this, is he's not actually funny and he'd never been funny. And in an effort to save his career, he's becoming one of those quote-unquote comedians that wants to cancel people now. And people like him do this so they don't get canceled in the future. That's the whole point.
He needs to focus on growing his weed because he's involved with a company that I've invested in. And so is like Martha Stewart, a bunch of other people. So he just needs to grow his fucking weed and know his role and shut his mouth. That would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I remember a time where comedians would actually make jokes, but it seems like ages ago.
He actually wasn't bad in that American Pickle movie or whatever.
Yeah,
it wasn't that a series on Hulu or something like that.
It was just a movie where guy falls in a fucking brine vat and doesn't age for 100 years, and so this like old school guy that had like the Russians genocide the Jewish population of his area like is now in modern times talking to like his great grandson or something that's like about the same age as him.
That sounds terrible.
It does sound. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like it could be funny, but knowing that Seth Rogen is the driving factor in it kind of spoils it for me. I'm not a big Seth Rogen.
Actually, fucking young Seth Rogen canceled his grandpa in that movie.
Adam, is it called the...
Yeah, he did. He said his grandpa...
Is it called The Pickle Cost?
That would be funny. That I would watch the shit out of that.
So, God, I forget exactly what he said, but young Seth Rogen asked, like, old Seth Rogen in, like, some town hall meeting. He's like, hey, what do you think about Mary Magdalene? He's like, oh, well, she was obviously a prostitute that's lying so she could have Jesus Christ to get out of, having to admit that she's a whore. And then all of a sudden, overnight, everyone fucking hates this guy. Basically, he gets chased out of town for saying that Mary Magdalene is a lying whore to everyone because it's like some old Jewish conspiracy.
Wow, a Jewish person gets chased out of town? I haven't heard that story before. Real original. I don't know, man. I really hate the cancel culture that shitty comedians engage in because they know they're gonna get canceled eventually. So they try to like pre-stop.
Yeah, didn't Anthony Jeselnik just tweet out like an article saying that comedy has an alt-right problem, and it listed like the Legion of Skanks guys and like Tim Dillon as like alt-right like comedians
Tim
who are
Dillon.
Yeah, like, he's pretty like center, and even like the Legion of Skanks guys, like they're not alt-right.
So it's funny you mentioned.
I don't know what the very like where they draw their line.
It's funny you mentioned Tim Dillon because he had this tweet this morning that was referencing that article that you're talking about, and it was from a New York Times journalist, and he basically asked Tim Dillon if he could be interviewed for this hit piece that they're doing on Joe Rogan, like how he's some alt-right Nazi. And Tim Dillon just says, yeah.
Fuck.
Tim Dillon's response was perfect. He just goes, "Hi, Matt. Respectfully, go fuck yourself." I thought that was hilarious.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, it's really cringe that these comedians aren't funny. They're not good at their jobs. So they have to cancel someone else, to try to be hip with the younger generation and what the trend is.
What's weird is he's not even trying to get someone canceled. He's just trying to say that it's okay to be canceled if you say some off jokes at some point in your past. And it's like, come on, man.
It's not just comedians too. Fucking John Cena today, was it yesterday? The professional wrestler John Cena, he said that Taiwan was a country, and then he apologized 7,000 times
in Chinese
to China for saying
I saw
Taiwan
that video.
Yeah, he learned Mandarin just so he can say I'd suck Chinese dick.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he did.
And a lot of people were kind of pissed at this, man. Fucking John Cena.
Yeah.
Shout out to CM Punk.
Like, man, some of the comments have been ruthless.
CM Punk, by the way, who immediately,
keeping it real.
That video immediately changed his bio to Taiwan as a country on Twitter. I thought that was very funny.
CM Punk is awesome.
Yeah, I hate
pretty
these,
good.
Pretend comedians. I'm tired of them. So I guess you could say I give a shit, but I really don't, because I don't care what Seth Rogen says, because he's a loser.
I mean, I guess the only thing that I'd be concerned about is the people that really do think that canceling people is like making the world a better place, and the people that have a confirmation bias and thinking that it's okay to fucking go meddle in someone else's life and try to fuck with them on the internet. But I don't know how prevalent that is in all actuality. But I don't know. I just don't like the sentiment that people are starting to just give up and accept that this is okay, because it's not.
I mean, it happened to me and Rem's former co-host. So if it can happen to us, I think it can happen to just about anybody.
I think there needs to be a masterclass as to how to deal with it, because I think there is a way to like counter being canceled. And I think nobody's figured it out yet, aside from like Ari Shaffir, who just doesn't respond and doesn't apologize for anything that he does. And I think that's really what you got to do, is just like hold your ground and not allow yourself to be taken for that ride.
Or
that's going to be really hard for a lot of people.
Yeah, because if you get called a racist, your gut instinct is to like, or a homophobe, or like whatever ism that you want to be called, that they're calling you out for being. Your gut instinct is to get in front of it and go, no, I'm not. But if you just ignore it,
defensive.
Yeah, if you just ignore it, what are they going to do? It's like they're like, have you ever tried to play tag with a little kid and you just don't run away from them when they tag you?
No, I've never done that actually.
Yeah, you just don't run, and then they don't know what to do after.
Well, I
after
have.
that.
I've never ran when I play tag, so
Interesting.
I know what you're saying, John. But I think I have the method for you, buddy. It's called the double down method, and I would like to think I'm the originator of this method myself. I would like to say that I created it. So whatever your ism is, whatever ism you're being accused of, you're like, oh, yeah, you think this is racist? Well, watch this. And then you just do some really racist shit in front of them. Because...
You say the N-word twice.
With double hard R. You put like 3 hard R's in there.
Yeah. At the end of each of them.
It works well for me. It works great for me. And if that doesn't work, you could always say you're a gay tranny Muslim, and then you're basically untouchable.
Don't. I'm disavow. I'm just disavowing this whole conversation. Y'all are in court.
But yeah, fuck Seth Rogen. Your movies are only funny because you're around funny people. You've never actually made a funny joke in your life. And we can all see through your PR move that you did with trying to say that cancel culture is acceptable.
Yeah, fuck Seth Rogen.
Well, we're about to get in our voicemails. But let's shill some things first. Plug a few things. So, of course, everyone should go follow Jon Breaks Bad News on Facebook. That's where I follow you.
Yeah, Facebook, YouTube. I'm on Twitter. I have a Twitch account. Nobody cares about that. Nobody sees me on that ever. But yeah, Facebook and YouTube is really because I get banned on Facebook because you could literally get banned on Facebook for anything. YouTube is really the main backup for the streams.
I watch your stuff on Twitter a lot too, man. So
yeah. All right, good. I'm glad that people are seeing it.
Yeah,
on
I have notifications on for you, so every once in a while it'll tell me, "Oh, Jon Breaks Bad News is live."
Yeah, it's pretty good. So also, follow our Twitter at WGA Shit Show, which stands for Who Gives a Shit Show. Also, go to patreon.com/WGA Shit Show. Tell your friends. Listen to the podcast. We gotta make
more money than Stuttering John, you guys. We have to. It's me and Adam's destiny. I have to be the top earning crippled retard on the internet. I just have to be.
On page.
Really? So Stuttering John disabled his, how much money he's making on Patreon. And there are a lot of people that really don't like this guy that are giving him money because they hate him. It's very interesting. But we are not far off. For a while, he was earning $80. We're at almost 70 or something. So we're $10 off. But I think now more people signed up, so he's at 120.
Yeah,
or something
he just crawled up to 125. And I know this because a lot of the guys from WATP just donated to him because he has a tier where he'll Skype call you for an hour. So a lot of these guys are just paying the $20 a month so they can troll this guy on a Skype call. And I think it's genius.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, that is pretty funny. So you're showing up to a WATP live show, right?
August 28th. I think it's a Wednesday, I believe. 6:00, downtown Chicago. I will be there in the front row. I have 2 front row tickets. I'm taking my dad because he loves these podcasts. My dad loves the show as much as I do. So I will be hanging out with Carl. So if you want to see me and my pops down there, let's hang out.
Ooh, also, check out the Rich Dickman show. Dude could use a little bit of help after getting canceled himself. Still pisses me off.
Yeah, what's the Patreon? Patreon.com/Rich Dickman show.
It's Patreon.com/Rich Dickman Show, I want to say. Or it's either that or TRDS. But I know he has a link to his Patreon on richdickmanshow.com or something like that. I got a bookmark. I forgot.
I know it's not it's not TDRS. I know it's the Rich Dickman Show because I just looked it up the other day. So patreon.com/the Rich Dickman Show. Give them a couple bucks.
Yeah, definitely help them out. But you got anything else you want to say before we sign off here, John?
No, man. Are you guys doing voicemail?
Oh, shit. Yeah, I almost fucking derped out. Hold on. Here's the, we got one voicemail this week. So here we go.
You know, I really had my doubts about CJ just sucking dicks randomly, just rolling his wheelchair up to random guys at, some gay strip club and just blowing them and then wheeling the fuck away and shit. I really, had my doubts. And the reason is I think CJ is about as gay as Milo Yiannopoulos is fucking straight, all right? A troll's a troll, and I fucking love you for it, CJ. Keep up the amazing work, boys.
Well, I wish I didn't have to suck a dick for the bit, but I'm definitely not gay. I know that for sure.
Oh, man.
Was it a bit, though? Was it a bit?
He got poop on his dick for the bit, yeah.
Look, I know a lot of people that have gone a lot farther than that for a bit, but like, just a quick question: was this just a 3-week period where you were like, maybe I'm gay, and then you fucked the dude, and then you're like, nope? Or was this like something that you were thinking about for a long time? Because every time I've heard you talk, you're always talking about fucking strippers and like getting pussy.
So I explained it better in detail on the Dick Show, but basically to keep it short here, when the pandemic started, I found myself looking at a lot of trap porn, and there was like a 6 months.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there was a 6 months period in my life where I was like, you know what, I might have a taste for the ding dong. And I just decided to try it for that 2 weeks. And I finally did stick it in the butthole, and I was like, oh, this is gross. I'm not gay.
Oh, man.
Hey, it's science. You gotta.
By the way, I think I'm actually super straight because I had sex with a man to prove how straight I am. Okay, and not a lot of people can say that.
I agree.
Oh,
I think
God,
you are.
That's. I don't even know where to go with that. And with that, I think we're gonna sign off for the week. All right. So, see ya.
See ya. Stay horny, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.